much for coming. Today we are going to be making a beautiful burlap wreath, and I'm going to be making it in a kind of patriotic style. So if you want yours to be a more classic burlap wreath, you can use different color ribbons instead of the red, white, and blue. So feel free to customize as you feel fit. I'm so excited to see so many of you that I recognize from other places and other classes. So thanks for coming. I enjoy seeing you and being here with you on Thursdays and Fridays to make all different kinds of crafts. So good news, bad news. The good news is we are going to make an amazing, beautiful burlap wreath today. The bad news is that this wreath actually probably takes about 2 hours to make, and we only have 1 hour of time together. So if any of you are planning on crafting along, it might be a little bit of a stretch because there's going to be some times where I need to jump to a different step and use a little bit of movie magic. But what's nice about the burlap wreath is that it's one that can be kind of mindless, and it's actually fun to do with a group. I've had plenty of classes where we've had just a bunch of women in there and you can just chit chat and hang out and have fun and make it because you don't have to concentrate very hard on what you're doing. It's pretty repetitive. So once I do show you, I don't think you're going to have any trouble continuing on with the project in order to finish up. But one of the elements that we'll be making are going to be some beautiful bows that for decoration onto your wreath. So the bow making process can sometimes be frustrating to some people. So Ilse is going to put into the chat a link of a class coming up that focuses just on bow making. So if you've struggled with bow making before and you haven't had much success, I'm going to show you at least 3 different types of bows, and I bet out of those 3 there's going to be at least one that you're going to pick up and be able to do very easily. So our important materials that we're going to need are a wire base. So this wire base is an 18-inch wire base that we sell at Michael's. It's in the Ashland section, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4 different rings to it. You're also going to need some burlap. So on the supply list for today, I think I had the tight woven burlap, but there is a loosely woven burlap and there's a tight woven burlap, and you can use either one. Both of them will give you a very successful looking wreath, but just so that you can kind of see the difference, this is obviously the loosely woven and this is the tightly woven. So if you want a more loosey kind of organic feel, you're going to want to go with the loose. And if you don't mind it being a little stiffer and being a little bit more opaque, which means you can't really see through it as well, then you want to go with the tighter weave. The tighter weave, because it is a tighter weave, only has 20 feet on the roll, so you definitely need 2 rolls of this. If you use the looser weave, I believe it has 30 feet on the roll, so still 2 rolls of it would be ideal, but you could probably get away with 1 of each, or 1 and just a lot of extra kind of filler. So you'll notice on the wreath behind me that I have some pops of extra color. I added in some different mesh, and I really like this mesh that we sell right now. It's on the end of one of the aisles, and it feels less like mesh, less plasticky, and a lot more like burlap or canvas. So I really, really like this blue star pattern. And then you want some ribbon, and we have tons of choices of ribbon. So I like any kind of 2.5-inch ribbon that's definitely wired. So you want a wired ribbon so that we can sculpt those beautiful bows, but it can be 1.5 inches like the red one that I have on here, or it could be a much thicker bow. This one that I have, this red check, is a 2.5-inch. So either 1.5 or 2.5, whichever one you actually like the design of better is the one that you should choose. And we'll be making bows together too. Some Chenille stems, or as we used to call them, pipe cleaners, are also going to be important for the base of your wreath. There's a lot of cutting, a lot of measuring, a lot of things going on. So we're just going to kind of go through all the steps and make sure that you understand all the steps. And then I'll be kind of jumping from one place to another to make sure that we can give you a whole picture of how to complete the project. So let's go ahead and switch over to the other camera, and you'll see my ruler, and you'll see some pipe cleaners, and you'll see my wire base, and I'm ready to get started. So I tend to use pipe cleaners. There's some really nice packs that are actually a light brown are very, very similar to burlap. So that would be my first recommendation. But if you have any kind of color of pipe cleaner, white, brown, whatever, we can do it so that they can disappear and you're not going to be able to see them. So we can fluff around that. So don't worry too much or get caught up on what kind of pipe cleaner you have. But you are going to need a full pack of at least 25. If you have 27, that would be even better. And the reason why I'm saying 27 is because this wire base is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different sections. And we're going to put 3 pieces of pipe cleaner on each of those 9 sections. And 9 times 3 is 27. So we are going to need 27 different pipe cleaners to kind of give us a base to begin with. And what we're going to do is I am going to take a pipe cleaner, and your base will tend to like curve. So I put the curve of my base facing down so that when I hang it on the door, it curves out away from my door. So kind of feel which direction it's sinking in and put that towards the back. And then when I go through to set up my sections, I'm going to go to one of each of these 9 sections, and I'm going to go through these last 2 that are closest to me, and I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around those last 2. And I'm just going to twist maybe once or twice and just attach a pipe cleaner. So around these 2 outermost rings in this section right here. And then I'm going to take my next pipe cleaner and I'm going to go to the 2 most innermost rings. So I'm in the middle of this section and I'm going towards the center of my wreath. And I'm just going to twist this 1 or 2 times, not a ton of times because you don't really need to twist too much of your pipe cleaner. So this is what I have so far. I have 1 pipe cleaner that's kind of wrapping around the outer 2, 1 pipe cleaner that's wrapping around the inner 2, and then I'm going to do 1 more pipe cleaner that's wrapping around the outer 2. So there are going to be 3 pipe cleaners in each one of these 9 sections, which is where I came up with that 27 number. So on the next section, I don't want to do the same pattern of outer, inner, outer, because if I do outer again, then I'm going to get a lot of extra poof up here and I'm going to be having some blank spots down here. So at this next section, I reverse it and I start with the inner 2 and I twist this. I go to the outer 2 and I twist this. And I go to the inner 2 and twist this. And so really I'm just alternating up, down, up, down, up, down in each of these sections. I'm going to show you the back so you can kind of see what's happening. So I have the outer 2, inner 2, outer 2, inner 2, outer 2, inner 2, and I have 2 of my 9 sections done so far. So you're going to keep going around, and because there are 9 sections, when you get back to the beginning over here, you are going to end up with that same pattern. So you're going to have 2 that are going to be right next to each other, and that's going to be fine. I'm going to call that the bottom of my wreath, because if it has an extra little bit of fluff down there, it will balance out the fact that across from that will be the top of the wreath where I'll place my bow. So you don't want to put your bow on top of the part that's already extra fluffy. You want to put your bow opposite that extra fluffy part. And on my other base that I have started, I actually went ahead and made these 2 pipe cleaners different colors just so that I can kind of keep track of them and know that this is the bottom of my wreath. It's not super important until we put on the bow, but if that might help you with a little bit of color differentiation. And you can see it just kind of looks like spider legs all over my base. And these are all going to be grabbing burlap and kind of putting burlap into little clusters. And then we'll fluff up the burlap in order to give us a more full look. So this is the base. This I'm going to continue all the way around, do all 9 sections just like this, having 3 pipe cleaners in each one of those sections. And then once I have all of that done on the base, I'm going to start working with my burlap. So I have a nice ruler, but you don't need to have this kind of ruler if you just have any kind of ruler. Or another trick I do is I'll measure out 8 inches and put down a piece of masking tape that's 8 inches. And then I just keep comparing to my masking tape so that I don't have to measure every single time. So that's another good idea. Or if you take a piece of cardboard and cut it to exactly 8 inches, then you can wrap the burlap around that over and over and over again, and then cut, and you're going to have all those slices of burlap that are all going to be 8 inches long. So the next step in our burlap journey is going to be to make a big old pile of burlap. And obviously I've already cut some of them, but I will show you how to do that. So when you have your burlap roll, this is a tightly woven burlap. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm going to put it down next to my ruler, and I'm going to measure out 8 inches. So I believe, let me double check, that this is 5 inches wide, and we're about to make lengths that are 8 inches. And sometimes burlap can kind of dull your scissors, so be careful of that. Don't use your favorite fabric scissors because the burlap will definitely make them a little more dull. But I just cut 8 inches, just a straight cut, and I'm going to make a pile. And I just keep unrolling this and cutting at 8. Try if you can, when you're cutting your 8-inch sections, to cut a little bit less than 8. My tendency is to cut a little bit more than 8, but then I actually end up missing out on a couple of extra pieces that I could get from one roll. So one roll of this tightly woven burlap is 20 feet, and that's going to give us, I did the math over here. That's going to give us about 30 pieces that are 8 inches. And remember, I said that we have 27 pipe cleaners, so 30 is a great number. And if I do 2 rolls of the burlap, then I'm going to have 2 pieces of burlap in each one of these little spider bundles. So that would be ideal. And if you want 3 in each one of your clusters, then you're just going to need 3 rolls of burlap instead of 2. So the wreath that I have so far, this one is done using clusters of 2. So if you want your wreath to be a little bit more full than this one, you're going to want to do clusters of 3 instead of clusters of 2. But clusters of 2 is a pretty good price point. It's not terribly expensive, and it's also still going to look really nice. So you're going to cut through the whole entire roll. And if you have 3 rolls, you're going to cut through all 3 of those rolls. And you're going to cut a big old stack of 8 inches of burlap. And they do not need to be perfect, and they do not need to be exactly the same size or anything like that. Just about 8 inches or a little less than 8 inches each time will give you this really nice stack to work with. And again, you can work with the tightly woven, or you can work with the loose, or you can work with a combination of the 2 if you like both of those. So you can keep that in mind. Here's what we're going to do with all your burlap that you've cut. We're going to come back to the base, and keep in mind that my base is going to be completely done with all 9 sections finished. And if I'm going to do a cluster of 2, I'm going to take one of the pieces of burlap, and an unfortunate thing about burlap is that it sometimes starts to get a little bit ratty or starts to get unraveled because it is loosely woven, so it's easy for the weave to come back out. So what I like to do about that is I like to fold the 2 ends towards the center. So the 2 kind of rattier ends towards the center. And then I fold the whole piece in half, and then I've hidden all of those extra cut sides inside of this lovely little cluster. And then if I take another piece, this one's less likely to unweave. So instead of folding it into kind of like fourths, I usually only do like a little burrito, like just boop, boop. It's kind of loosely a third. And I'm going to pile these 2 little clumps on top of each other and kind of scrunch them in the middle. And then I'm going to start placing them onto these little spider webs on my burlap wreath. So in each one of our sections, we have 3 pipe cleaners, one on the outside, inside, outside. I'm gonna leave the one that's either on the inside or the one in each section that's on the outside, just that one that's on a different set of rings than the first one. And that one I'm always gonna put my accent colors in, and the rest of them I'm gonna fill with the normal burlap bundles. So here's a burlap bundle of 2, but you could bundle 3 if you have enough burlap. And I'm just gonna put it into this little pipe cleaner piece. And I'm going to pull the pipe cleaners and twist them to just kind of secure that bundle to the base. So I only twist it like once or twice, but I did try and twist it as tight to the base as I possibly could. So I'll show you that again. With a loose weave, I like to put the 2 ends towards the center, and then I like to fold it over again. So that's basically a 4th. And if I have one of the thicker weaves, I like to do kind of loose thirds. So just kind of flop it over and flop it over again. So it's like a loose third. And then you stack those 2 together, and it can be 2 of the loose or 2 of the tight, that's okay. And I'm gonna go back to where these pipe cleaners are, and I'm gonna twist the next bundle. Now, like I said, I left in this one of these bundles open, and that's gonna be my accent color. So what I'm gonna do for my accent color is I'm gonna go back to some cutting, and you have lots of choices here. So I really, really like this blue star kind of mesh. It's thicker than a mesh. It's really a lot more like a burlap. And so I'm gonna cut some slices of this. And because these ones are so much longer, I'm gonna cut these to be about 6 inches wide because they're already 8 inches long. So when you have your roll of this blue mesh, I'm gonna measure out to only 6 inches this time. And I'm gonna cut at that 6-inch mark. And because each one of my 9 sections, I want to have like a featured color or a pop of color, I'm gonna need 9 slices of this extra pop of color. So I'm gonna cut 9 of these 6-inch pops of color. And if you don't have this blue mesh, you can also use other colors of rolls of burlap, and you can cut yourself a bunch of extra little accent pieces of little extra pieces of burlap. You can also cut some extra ribbon. So if you have some extra ribbon, you can do that. And basically what we're doing is we're just adding a touch of color into the little burlap bundle so that something kind of pops out and gives it a little bit more color than just the plain burlap. So there's lots of choices that you can use. You can also, I mean, go crazy if you want to, and you can use some tulle. So if you want it to be a little more airy, easy breezy, you can have some tulle instead of some mesh, which gives it a little bit of a more kind of cloudy, fun feeling. Or you can add some extra sparkle or some glitter. So if you want some glitter tulle, then you can have some extra sparkle come out of some of those little bundles. So think about what you want your accent color to be. If you want it to be something solid, if you want it to be something with a print, if you want tulle, if you want ribbon, whatever you want to, you can do, and then you can add those accent pieces. So here's how I add the accent piece. I do exactly what I was doing before. And just as a reminder, this accent piece, it's already 8 inches. That's how wide the roll comes. So I cut this one 6 inches across to give me a little piece. And then I'm back to my burlap bundles. And so I'm going to take one of these and bundle it. And you can do 3 or 2, again, however you want to do it with the accent color. So if I do the same kind of bundle I was doing, then I'm just going to go for it. And with this one, I kind of like, I guess the same thing as like the loose thirds, where I kind of just wrap it over. And it's nice that it's longer than the other ones, because then when I put it into that remaining spot, it's going to have a nice extra kick to it. So I'm going to put it into this little piece right here. And then that's going to give me some extra color and some extra fabric to kind of poof up and play with. And once I have all those bundles in each one of these sections, I'm going to have a really nice full wreath. So I'd love to answer some questions if anybody has any so far, or if you're lost and you want me to kind of go back through. We began with pipe cleaners. So what we started with was pipe cleaners, and these have 4 rings. So you wrapped around 2 of the outer rings with 1 pipe cleaner. Then you wrapped around 2 of the inner rings with the pipe cleaner. And then you wrapped around 2 of the outer rings with the pipe cleaner. In the next section, I switched and I did inner, outer, inner. And then I'm going to keep going all the way around with all 9 sections. And remember that when you get towards the top, you are going to have 2 that are next to each other, and that's going to be totally normal. And that's the bottom of your wreath. So once we had these little bundles, and I leave these pipe cleaners kind of open because I'm just going to grab some bundles and tie some bundles down. Then I took out my burlap and I cut nice swatches of burlap. I cut each one of these pieces to be about 8 inches or a little bit less. And you can decide how you want to fold up your bundle. If you don't want to do a roll, if you don't want it very tight, you can just kind of scrunch it like a bow. And you can have 2 or 3 pieces depending on how much burlap you bought. And you can just go ahead and attach those in using the pipe cleaners and twisting them off really tight at the end. One thing I will say is if you do a loose kind of bow like this, know that some of these edges are going to fray a little bit. It's okay. It's still going to give a really beautiful rustic look, but you might need to give your whole wreath a little bit of a haircut at the very end to kind of trim up any of those loose edges. So keep that in mind where you can go ahead and bundle that. If you don't want all those loose edges, that's why I was doing a little bit of the rolling to kind of control the parts that will fray are kind of on the inside now. And these parts are the ones that have that nice edge to it that are not going to fray. And those are going to be the parts that are going to stick up on my wreath. So once I've placed all of these, I'm going to switch over to a more finished piece. So on this one, I have all my bundles done except for the ones that I want to put the accent pieces. So I went through and put down all my burlap except for the accent. And so I'm going to do that right now, adding in those accent pieces. And then one of the other things I'm going to do is I am going to show you how to make a bow. So actually I might skip to the bow to see how long that takes and then come back to this part. So I see a question in the chat that says, would you do the same thing if you used a deco mesh? And absolutely. So deco mesh, if you don't know, is a lot like this one that I showed you that's blue, but the feeling of it is a little bit more slippery. It's kind of like a more plasticky kind of mesh. It is a pretty loose weave and it does tend to kind of fray out. So I would probably make sure that I put those edges in to kind of control some of that fraying as best I could. But deco mesh is awesome. What's great about this burlap wreath right now is right now with just this base, I can make this wreath for any season. So if I want to make it for 4th of July or for any of the kind of holidays that we celebrate in America, you can use some stars, you can use some stripes, you can use red, blue, whatever you want to. But if I wanted to make this exact same wreath for Halloween, I could grab some orange deco mesh, or I can grab some orange ribbon, or we even at Michael's, I believe, oh, I might even have some, sell like yellows and greens and different colors of this burlap. So you could add in some different fall colors, and this exact same wreath can really keep changing just by changing out these 9 different sections that I'm going to put the accent color in. So this really is my base of my burlap wreath. And then these 9 little sections, one for each one of these, is going to be that pop of color that you could potentially just take out and replace with something else if you want to change to the next holiday. St. Patrick's wreath, you're ready. Valentine's wreath, you're ready. Just keep switching them in and out, and you can reuse this so many different times in so many different ways. So I'm going to add accent bundles. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how to make a bow. And Ilse and I said at the beginning that bow making can be kind of tricky sometimes. So please give yourself patience. It's not the easiest thing for everyone to do right away. I'm going to show you how to do it today, but if you want even more in-depth lesson on this, I'm going to focus just on bows the next time next week. And so we put that class into the chat to sign up for bow making. So I do want people who are watching with me right now, I do want your opinion. Do you want to see me make my bow using this thin ribbon with stars? You want to see red check? You want to see blue stripe or blue stars? Here are your 4 choices. Which one of these would you like to see me make a bow out of? And then I will do that for you. So throw that into chat if you're interested in one of those, or if you think one of those is going to look nicer with my wreath than any of the other ones. And for bow making, you're going to need pipe cleaners, or if you have a little bit of wire, if you don't have any more pipe cleaners, you can also use some wire. I see some red stars. Cool. All right, well, let's see what we can do. Ooh, I think red stars is winning. So I'm going to use this thin one, but I can come back, and if we have some time, I'll show you some more. And again, come to that other bow making class if you want to learn a couple other techniques besides the one I'm going to show you today as well. Okay, so with bow making, something like this is kind of a directional ribbon, meaning one side of it is printed and the other side isn't. So which way I'm holding it matters, because I don't want to make a bow that has the ugly side facing everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the colorful side and I'm going to make a loop. So this loop is probably about 3 inches. And I'm holding it with my thumb. So I took this, I folded it over, and I gathered it at the center with my thumb. This is being recorded, so you will be able to watch this particular video again on YouTube, probably on Monday because it is Friday. And then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold towards the center. So I have one loop, come towards the center and hold it with your thumb. Next loop, bring it towards the center and hold it with your thumb. So this is what I have so far. Then I'm going to make another loop. So the whole idea of your bow is to kind of gather everything in the center and collect it. And then I'm eventually going to keep all of this together with a pipe cleaner. So you can see that this is already starting to make my next loop going in this direction. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you could make this next loop a little larger or a little smaller. You probably don't want it to be exactly the same size as the one you just did. And now I scrunched it in the middle again with my thumb. And when I'm about to do this next loop, you can choose to do the loop on the left of it or on the right of it. It doesn't really matter which direction on which side of it you place, but it does matter that you keep scrunching in the middle to hold it all together. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to keep the pattern so that it's up facing you. And I'm just grabbing it with my thumb. And then I'm kind of just moving it off to the side so that I'm not doing a loop on top of a loop that's already there. So instead of just doing that, which is just layering up loops, I'm kind of just gently moving it to the side. And what's nice about this ribbon is that it has wire in it, so it kind of goes whatever direction you want it to go. Then I'm going to grab this loop and I'm going to grab it in the middle again with my thumb. Give myself a little bit more to play with. I'm going to pull my next loop up over here, but it doesn't matter if you pull it up over here, that's okay too. So I'm kind of gathering a loop and grabbing it with my thumb. And you can keep untwisting this as you go. And so far I have 6 loops, 3 and 3. I think I'm going to do 2 more on each side. So maybe I want a little bit of a larger one to add some interest. Grab it with my thumb. And down here, do one that's a little bit larger also. Grab it with my thumb. A little bit grab with my thumb, and a little bit larger, and grab with my thumb. Now, don't worry if it looks like a pile of craziness. That's normal. You're doing it right. So I cut off the end of the ribbon, and I'm going to fold the end over when I scrunch that final piece towards the center, just so that it doesn't fray or stick out funny. And I have this nice, lovely bundle of loops, and I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to wrap it around where I've been pinching it with my thumb. And I'm twisting this as tight as I can. Now, it's fine if yours looks like a silly bundle and does not look like a beautiful bow yet, because we haven't done our bow fluffing. And bow fluffing is definitely going to be the part that's going to make it look nicer. So you can go to each one of these loops, and because there's some wire, you can kind of use your fingers and spread out each one of those loops, kind of make some go up and some go down, and really just play around with how you position them. If you can still see your pipe cleaner, like I can still see my pipe cleaner in there, that's not a problem. We'll fix that. And you can always just kind of make some of your loops hide that pipe cleaner. Now, if you want a tail, I'm going to take probably about, I think this is going to be about 1 foot. I doubled it over, so it's 24 inches. And you can do longer or shorter. Zip ties could work, yes. And I'm going to fold these over, and because I want this side to show, I'm not going to just fold it in half and leave it, because then one side's going to be the back and one side's going to be the front. I'm going to kind of squish these together so that both of them have the side showing. So I kind of scrunched at the top to make sure that both of these nice sides are showing. And I'm going to go into where I already have this nice bundle. And I'm going to twist this behind all my loops and twist this in. There we go. And I have a bow that has a beautiful tail. And I like to use little dovetails on my bows. And what that means is I'm going to line these tails up together. And I'm going to fold them in half and cut at the diagonal, so that when I open them, they have those nice little ribbon kind of first place ribbon kind of dovetails. And it has this really nice extra part of pipe cleaner on the back of that, which is going to help us attach this to our final base. So I know that was quick, and bow making is an art. So it does take some practice, but really if you can get a bunch of loops and scrunch them together with your thumb, and then secure them with your twist tie or with your pipe cleaner, then it's really just a matter of fluffing your bow loops and kind of creating something that you are happy with. And just kind of keep fluffing it until it looks like something that you like and that you enjoy. All right, I'm back to my burlap wreath. And remember, this is my burlap base that doesn't have my accent colors yet. So I'm going to take the time with us today to put in the accent colors. Feel free to keep asking me questions as I'm doing this part, because I can kind of answer questions as I go. I'm going to be using my blue stars that I cut to be 6 inches, and they're 8 inches tall. And I'm going to be using my bundles of burlap to make all my accent parts. And I'm hoping that you understand what I'm talking about with how there's 9 sections and how each one of those 9 sections has an accent. I hope that that part makes sense. If you need help with that, let me know. But I have 2 pieces of burlap right here on the outer ring, and I have 1 extra here. So this is where I'm going to put my accent color. And then in the next section, I have over here 2 pieces of burlap towards the center and 1 extra piece up here, and that's where my accent color is going to go. So I have plenty of burlap cut, so I'm going to do big bundles. I'm going to do This is the loose, so I'm folding them in towards the center and folding them in half, folding them in towards the center and in half. So there's two. And then I'm going to take this blue and I'm going to fold the blue a little bit in towards the center. There we go. And I'm bundling this accent piece and putting it into one of the three. And I'm twisting this as close as I can. And we'll worry about fluffing later, so don't worry too much about that yet. I'm taking my next piece, bundling. Kind of fold these in, making a really nice bundle with that extra pop of color. And then finding where this accent goes in this one of the 9 sections. And pulling this twist as tight as I can. I'm kind of pulling the pipe cleaners apart as far as I can before I twist, and that's what's kind of making that a nice secure connection. Folding the burlap in. An accent. And I'll be very curious to see if anyone is making their own. And if you are able to finish the project, I would love to see it on Learn with Michaels is the Instagram that focuses all on classes and things that we're doing and teaching. So feel free to follow that if you're not already. That's a good place to get lots of information about all the upcoming classes. So yeah, somebody said the cool thing about the pipe cleaners is that you can reuse them for another project. And isn't that the truth? You're always going to need pipe cleaners for something. You can steal them from your kids when they're not looking. There we go. My Instagram is 4M Coleman, so that's my personal Instagram. And if you want to kind of check out all the different projects, yesterday we did some macrame feather earrings. Next week we're going to do some bows, and we did some Father's Day wood burning the other day. So there's lots of different classes for lots of different hobbies, or just find out what you want to do next and what you're interested in. Do a little sampling with me on Thursdays and Fridays. And then all of these classes are recorded and they go onto our YouTube channel. So if you want to check out any of the other classes that I have talked about, or if you see one in the future that you like, but you're not going to be able to make it on time, you can always check it out at a later time. So this is going really well. And just to clarify, this is in the chat. It says you have 3 burlap bundles per section, and now you're adding an accent. So yes, so there's 3 burlap. Let me see if it makes sense this way. Here, one section, there's 3 spots for clusters. And in each one of the clusters, I'm putting 2 pieces of burlap. And in the accent one, I'm putting 2 pieces of burlap and a color. So that's kind of what's happening there. So yes, the accent one is a little bit like a double bundle. Yep. And I'm doing all of this with only 2 rolls of burlap. So if you had 3 rolls of burlap, you could make 3 in each one of your clusters instead of 2. So that would give it even more full coverage. But we are doing great with these 2 rolls so far. And this is a great project to kind of do with friends, because once you get going, you don't have to think too hard. Yay. Okay. And what I like about leaving everything a burlap base except for those 9 accent pieces, what I like about that is that I can take out just those 9 and then buy enough ribbon for just 9 more of whatever the next season is. So I like that I can really use this very effectively for a long period of time. Hope that I cut enough stars. I think I did. We'll find out. Make sure I got one in that section. There we go. And I haven't fluffed any of these out yet, but that's definitely going to be one of my next steps to just kind of give it more volume once I get them attached. I think I have two more. Oops. There we go. I got one right there. Got one more. So this I'm cutting at 6 inches. But if you're doing tulle, if you're doing mesh, you can kind of decide how wide you want that piece to be. If it is just like a piece of ribbon, you might want to cut it to be 8 inches, and then you can put a ribbon into one of your bundles so that it has some extra color to it. So you can think about what your accent piece is going to look like. It doesn't have to be the same as this one, just one idea. Here we go. And I would say that a good, between all the cutting and getting everything ready and all the twist ties, or all the pipe cleaners, I do think this project will probably take you about 2 hours. But then if you need it to update it, I bet it would only take you about a half hour. There we go. So we have made the colors all the way around. And you might already be thinking, Megan, this looks weird with all these pipe cleaners hanging out. And you're right, but we're going to be able to fluff and we're going to be able to hide pipe cleaners. I also told you towards the beginning that I used different colors to show me where the bottom was. So this was one that when I got to that part where it repeated, because there's only 9 sections, I have 2 in a row right next to each other. So this is going to be the bottom of my wreath, which means that this is going to be the top of my wreath. And that's where I'm going to place my bow. I'm throwing things over here. So that's where I'm going to place my bow. And I'm just going to use this extra bit of pipe cleaner to really wrap around. You can wrap around the whole entire, all 4 of those wires, or you can wrap around the middle too, whatever you think works, or however much pipe cleaner you have left back there. But I think I'm going to try and wrap it around all 4. And you can also wrap another pipe cleaner or a piece of wire if you want to make a loop to hang. If you have something, like if you have somewhere that you want to hang it that needs a loop, you can do that. Otherwise, these wire frames go really nicely just over a door hook pretty easily. And now I'm going to start fluffing and I'm going to start hiding pipe cleaners. So when I go back to each bundle, as long as everything's secure, I'm just going to take the 2 ends of the pipe cleaner and I'm just going to push them back towards the wire. If you want to, you can even twist it onto the wire. So if you really care, this is going to be some extra time and you don't have to do this, but if you really want to, you can pull them all the way back and twist them so that all the pipe cleaner extras are at the back. You don't have to do that. You can just take those extra 2 little pieces and just kind of use the wire, let the wire help you to just shove them backwards and kind of keep them out of sight. But that is why I like to use those brown pipe cleaners, because they really blend in with the burlap well. And then each one of your bundles can kind of be taken and you can play with the burlap and play with the bundle and kind of separate it to give it some more oomph. So feel free to jump in there and really just kind of rough it up and play with this. Separate those layers to really give it a nice look. So I'm pushing pipe cleaners backwards and I am fluffing burlap, pushing it up towards away from if I were hanging it on a door. And there are 27 of these. So this is also another good craft to do with a friend. So you can have 2 people working on the same wreath, and that can be fun, a fun activity to do on a Friday. So I hope those of you who are doing it along with me are doing okay. And hopefully you have all the steps you need to be able to complete your own. If you're struggling with the bow, I understand, but we will have another class on just bows next week. So if you want to buy yourself some wired ribbon, then meet me next week. I can show you a couple of other techniques that might be a little easier for you. So we'll do at least 3 different kinds of bows next week. And I'm taking my time and going around and fluffing, fluffing, fluffing. Kind of fun. So you can also think about, if you wanted to, add some floral. You could add some floral. Or we have picks at Michael's in the floral section. And picks are like those little wooden things that say like happy birthday or 4th of July or welcome or like whatever kind of message you want. You can add any of those picks to this wreath. This one, I feel like it would be fun to have like those wooden colored beads. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like those red, white, and blue wooden beads, I think would be cool with this. You can just pop in different places. If this was a Christmas burlap wreath, you could put some little bells in some of these clusters. So there's all kinds of things you can do once you've learned the basics of how to do it. You can really just run with this technique and make lots of different kinds of things. Oh yeah. So someone was saying if you're using green pipe cleaner, it could look like leaves. Absolutely. Yeah, you can let the pipe cleaners work for you. And if you want to add color by adding pipe cleaners, it can do double duty. If you want them to show on purpose because you like that extra little bit of color. I like that idea. And adding in any floral and adding in any other ribbon is exactly what we were doing. And I would just secure things that you can with some pipe cleaners. So someone's asking about if you want it to make a smaller or a larger wreath. So the wreath that we're working on is an 18-inch wreath, which is a pretty nice size for a door. But if you want something a little bit smaller, like a kid's door or like an indoor wreath instead of an outside door, see how many sections. So I really think it's all about the number of sections that your wire base has. So if your wire base only has 3 wires instead of 4, then you can just wrap 2, wrap 2, wrap 2, wrap 2, wrap 2, and you can adapt the exact same style, except instead of doing the 4, you're only wrapping around those 3. And if your wreath only has 6 sections, then you can just do the math a little bit differently and you're not going to need as much burlap. But basically, however many sections, I would do 3 pipe cleaners times however many sections you have. And then that's how many bundles. And if you want that many bundles and you want each one of your bundles of burlap to be 8 inches, then you can figure out how many rolls of burlap you need. But I would say that you can make a really nice wreath. And these wreaths do sell for sometimes $50, $70. And you can tell that it takes time to put this together. So it's worth somebody's time if you're frustrated and don't want to make it yourself. Or you can be that entrepreneur and you can start a wreath making business and you can start selling these because maybe somebody doesn't want to take the time to make it, but you can totally do it. So that's pretty much it for me today. I'm going to keep wrapping all the way around and fluffing. But if you have any other last minute questions, we still have about 9 more minutes. I'll be happy to answer anything. Make sure that you have everything you need to get your project finished. And then I'll post a picture of my final wreath on my Instagram, which is 4M Coleman. And if any of you want to post a picture of your final wreath, go ahead and tag Learn with Michael. Use a hashtag Learn with Michaels, and then we can even reshare it if you want to share it with everybody. That would be cool. All right. I'm almost back to the beginning. I just need to keep hiding some pipe cleaners. I don't think you can see, oh, I see one here. And I don't think you can see too many of my pipe cleaners. I think I'm doing a pretty good job of hiding them. Ah, you see one, I'll hide it. There we go. And you can twist these bundles to get them to go in a direction that you want. You can keep fluffing up your bow. You can put the bow at the top like I did, or you can put the bow on the bottom, or you can put the bow on the side. But I really like this look that we have. So if you don't mind, Ilse, going to the other camera to see the forward facing. This is what I have so far. I'm going to keep fluffing it and I'm going to put it onto my door. But this is a really awesome burlap wreath. Burlap. So yeah, I love it. And I hope that you love yours. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for coming.